Most people grow up believing a lie. They're told the law protects the truth, that if you're honest, the system will back you. Bullshit. Anyone who grew up in a toxic family already knows it. The world doesn't reward truth. It rewards the person who looks harmless, not the person who actually was. You didn't need a courtroom to learn that. In your family, the person who caused the harm was protected. The person who spoke up was punished. So when you get older and finally start telling the truth about what happened to you, the shock isn't that the law fails you. The real sting is realizing it behaves exactly like your family did. Only this time, it calls itself justice. It protects the person with the cleaner public face, not the cleaner conscience. It looks at your symptoms and pretends that they're the story, not the harm behind them. You feel it before anything is on record. That familiar warning in your body. If I tell the truth, they'll crucify me, not them. And you're right. If you dare to name the person who harmed you, the system turns on you. It demands proof you were never given the chance to collect, not the proof you actually have, not the way your body locked up around them, not the way your nervous system still fires when someone uses that same tone. No, the system wants what looks official. Paper trails, witnesses, dates, reports. The exact things abusers are careful to never leave behind. They know which conversations to keep off record. They know how to humiliate you in private, then act calm and reasonable in public. They know how to stay just inside what looks acceptable, so nothing sticks. Meanwhile, you're dragged into explaining yourself like you're on trial for existing. You're asked, why didn't you report it sooner? Why you stayed? Why you went back? Why you didn't document every moment while you were trying to stay functional? The person who hurt you isn't asked why they did it. They're not asked why they hid it. They're not asked why you're the one shaking. They don't have to justify anything. All they have to say is that their reputation is being attacked, and the system tilts in their favour instantly. On paper, it looks balanced. In reality, it's the scapegoat on the stand and the abuser treated like a respectable citizen who's been slightly inconvenienced. It's the same childhood rule in a different outfit. You carry the burden, they get the benefit of the doubt. Again. Psychological abuse rarely leaves a clear legal trail. It leaves confusion, self-doubt, a body that reacts before you even speak. You can be in the same room as them, and your whole system knows you're not safe. On the surface, it looks like nothing more than a normal family moment. This is why abusers thrive in formal systems. They depend on ambiguity and performance. They apologise just enough to look reasonable. They give the right lines about their own trauma. They say they're trying. They frame themselves as the one who made mistakes and is now being unfairly targeted. They know the system will protect them if you can't turn what they did into official documents. So you're handed the same impossible job you had as a kid. Explain a long, consistent pattern to people who weren't there, don't want to be uncomfortable, and are quietly hoping you're overstating it so they don't have to get involved. You have to compress years of damage into neat points, as if this came from a few isolated moments instead of a long-term pattern that rewired you over time. You know exactly what happened. The law wants it translated into forms. It doesn't care that your hands shake when you talk. It only cares whether you filled in the right box in the right year. The legal system worships reputation. That's what this is really about. Not truth, not impact, not the years you spent questioning your own reality because no one else would call it what it was. It wants to know, did you name them? Did people recognise who you meant? Did their reputation take a hit? Can you lay out every detail in a way that keeps the system undisturbed? It doesn't seriously ask, did they actually do it? Did it damage your mental health? Did they shut you down every time you tried to speak? Did you spend years carrying something everyone else avoided? You can tell the truth in plain language and still be punished because the system measures whether you documented it, not whether it happened. From the outside, it's sold as neutral. 2 sides, 1 judge, rules applied evenly. From the inside, it lands exactly like the environment you grew up in. Appearance over reality, silence over honesty, reputation over accountability. The same rules, but now they call it process. Look at how media works. Journalists can publish warped stories, half-truths, and slanted narratives as long as they follow a process. They tick their boxes, reached out for comment, consulted legal, verified with sources. They don't have to know what actually happened. They just have to show they looked responsible. That's enough to protect them. You get none of that. You don't have an editorial team softening your words. You don't have a legal department absorbing the blow for you. You don't get to hide behind sources say, or it is understood. You are the source. Your life is the evidence. And the system treats what you say as a risk to contain, not a reality to recognize. It isn't that what you're saying is unreliable, it's that it lands where they don't want it to. It threatens reputations, money, image, and stability. So they frame you as the issue. You get the warnings. Be careful what you say. You could get sued. You don't want to make things worse. The person who did the damage gets privacy and sympathy and the luxury of silence. You're allowed to talk about your pain. You're even encouraged to package it neatly. Share your healing, talk trauma, keep it soft, make it digestible. But you're not supposed to link that pain to the person who caused it in any way that threatens them. Your experience is treated as yours to process. Their behaviour is treated as separate, untouchable. You're expected to keep those 2 things apart. Your job is to stay vague. Someone I trusted, a parent, an ex. Their job is to stay silent and let the system work in their favour. And it does. You get applause for being brave as long as no one can identify who hurt you. They get to move through life untouched as long as they keep quiet. It's the same rule you grew up with. You're allowed to hurt, you're just not allowed to name who hurt you. If you do, the system decides you're the threat, not because you lied, because you said the part they rely on you to swallow. When the legal system operates like this, it's easy to think you're the common denominator. You're not. You're moving through a world built to protect the person who can hide what they did. You've seen this pattern your entire life. You saw it when your family protected the one who lied best. You saw it when the truth teller became the issue. You saw it when honesty threatened the family image and everyone moved to shut it down. You saw it when the person causing the harm walked away clean and you were left carrying the impact. So when the courts and the media behave the same way, it isn't proof your story is flawed. It's proof these systems were never built for people like you in the first place. Your experience isn't invalid because a judge couldn't recognize it. The system was built for injuries you can photograph, for events that sit neatly inside reports and timelines. It wasn't built for the kind of abuse that embeds itself into your nervous system, the kind that shifts your internal reality long before anyone else notices, the kind that can be dismissed publicly with one calm sentence and a clean shirt. If speaking up feels dangerous, that isn't a glitch. That's your body recognizing a pattern. You're not scared because you're weak. You're scared because every system you've known has shown you what happens to the person who names the harm. Families protect the person who caused it. Institutions protect their reputation. The law protects its version of order. You're the part that doesn't get protected. So you're not mistaken for feeling like the law isn't built for you. It isn't. You were never the problem for seeing what was actually happening. You were never the problem for naming it. What you see clearly has always been the risk to them, the thing that threatens the version of events everyone else relies on. That's why they want you quiet. Not because you're wrong, because you're right. And they know it. If you want the context behind what pushed me to cover this, join my email list. You'll get one straight breakdown each week. You'll find the link in the description box below.